All right. So how long were you in the police force?
I was in the police force for almost 20 years.
20.
Started in 1996 and I retired in 2016.
What ranks were you throughout your career?
I started in the academy, you're a recruit.
Mm-hmm.
I started as a recruit. I started as a probationary officer, which is once you pass in the state exam, you're becoming a probationary officer for 1 year. After 1 year, I became a full sworn police officer. 6 months after that, I became a detective. Then I was transferred to the DEA task force, so I was a deputized DEA agent and a deputized FBI agent task force. I stayed there for about 7-8 years. I became a sergeant. I went back to the vice unit, and I ran the vice unit for about a year, and then I went to the road. On the road, I was a road patrol sergeant. I was the sergeant in charge of hostage negotiation. I was the sergeant in charge of street crimes. I was the sergeant in charge of traffic for a little while. I was the sergeant in charge of the fleet. And obviously I was in charge of all the new recruits that came from the police academy to the PD, and that's called an FTO sergeant, a field training officer sergeant.
It's a long list.
20 years. It's a long time.
Very long list. Did you enjoy what you do?
The best, right? The only way I can explain it is you get to do whatever you love to do almost every day. There are some days that are good. There are some days that are just horrible because you don't see what normal people see. You see the good and the worst in people. And the majority of your interaction, whether it's a traffic stop or domestic or jumping into a pool to save a kid from drowning to encountering death, you have to stay focused. You have to know that at the end of the day it's a job, and you need to know when to walk from it when it starts affecting you personally.
Mm-hmm. How long were you retired?
I retired on August 26th, 2016. So I stayed retired for about 2 years.
What did you do with all the time that you had staying at the house 24/7?
You're gonna start from the back, and we're gonna go to the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go with the beginning first. The beginning, you're just pressing reset. It's very tiring to walk away from something that you are very passionate about. And obviously, I retired because of an illness that I had to take care of. So it was a bittersweet. I stayed home a little bit. At that point, I took the boat out 3, 4, 5 times a week, just for a little bit fishing, a little bit of just joyride and enjoying it. I always enjoyed fixing stuff, and the opportunity came in January of 2018, and unfortunately we had a fish tank leaking throughout this house, and which required over $160,000 worth of work. And I started, doing the work. I stayed at the house. I renovated the house, and I spend more and more time at Home Depot.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I ended up at Home Depot.
So that answers my next question. What job do you have now, and how do you like it? So how do you like working at Home Depot? And what
It's
do you
different.
do? And also, what do you do?
It's different. Currently, I'm employed by Home Depot, and I am running loss prevention and internal investigation and fraud investigations for the Home Depot Weston. I get to travel between stores. It's change of scenery. You have one day that you're interacting with the public. The other day it's full investigations. I get to utilize my skill. It's like I was saying, when you're going through life, think about your life as a bag. Every experience you have, you obtaining a tool, putting it in your toolbox. Sometimes you're using it, sometimes you're not using it. So whatever I could use from the toolbox that I gathered from between the military, my personal experiences, and obviously police work, you wanna exploit it. You wanna utilize it because it's a skill. It's like language. If you don't practice it, you're losing it. So I'm doing investigations. I enjoy investigations. Home Depot is hands down, not because I'm working for them, is one of the best companies voted, but one of the top 10 companies to work for in the whole wide world, which is extremely humbling for the opportunity.
Well, that's all we have for you today. I appreciate it, and yeah, thank you.
You got it.